Good evening. Welcome to Truth Seekers. My name is Mike Fishkin. Seated next to me is Jay Saylor. If you are a truth seeker, we'd love to talk to you. The program is live tonight, Saturday night, March 29th. I see we've got 2 phone lines up there, so you guys can call in if you'd like and discuss with us anything you'd like to discuss relating to spiritual, philosophical truth seeking. Last week, Jay, if you recall, we've been talking about the New Age. We showed some film with Roger Oakland relating to evolution initially and how evolution leads to terrible situations in societies. And, you know, in the past we've talked about Adolf Hitler and the Aryanism, believing in evolution, the result of that to mankind. Mao Zedong and Stalin killing the millions they did because the end justifies the means. And they, of course, based everything on their atheistic evolution viewpoints. We had a quote last week on the film that we were watching with Roger Oakland by Al Gore, saying, it's a quote of Desjardins, what's his first name? Can't think of it. Teilhard de Chardin, who's dead, who was a Jesuit priest, who was a New Ager and an anthropologist. He was involved in a couple of, one very clearly fraudulent ancient bones that supposedly were forerunners of mankind. I forget whether it was the Peking man or the Piltdown man. He was involved in another one as well. But Al Gore quotes him a couple of times. He quotes him saying that the fate of mankind depends upon an emerging new faith. And we noticed last week, we talked about it a little bit, that, of course, Teilhard de Chardin was involved in the New Age and meditation, getting messages from spirits. And there's a woman named Alice Bailey who died in 1947, but she's one of the key New Age people. New Agers really know her. And she channeled a spirit called DK, Jwal Kul. And this spirit talked a lot about evolution, the necessity for evolution. All the spirits agree on that. All Eastern religion, New Age agrees that everything comes out of us evolving to higher levels of mankind. In fact, we've shown in a prior film, maybe we'll show some next week or in the week after, of some New Agers channeling the spirits saying they're going to have to rid the planet of at least a quarter of the planet because those people are just going to be too recalcitrant. They're not going to want to go along with the program, the cosmic consciousness program that all is God and we all can become Christ consciousnesses. So Teilhard de Chardin was into that, as are a number of priests these days. It's been recommended by the prior pope to get into meditation. Right now on TV, Oprah Winfrey, and she's doing an online, on TV on computer, she's doing an online course, a 10-week course with a guy named Eckhart Tolle, T-O-L-L-E, and he's heavily into this stuff with these spirits. I've got a little bit of background with him, but he's been into A Course in Miracles. Oprah Winfrey's taken A Course in Miracles. In fact, she's turned over part of her radio station for a 1-year course on A Course in Miracles, led by this woman, Marianne Williamson, who also, I believe, channels. But A Course in Miracles, again, was channeled through a spirit, through an atheist woman in New York, a psychologist who was an associate professor at Columbia University, channeled from 1965 through the early 70s. And this Course in Miracles purports to be a spirit saying he's Jesus, the true Jesus, and making corrections to the Bible. Of course, the Apostle Paul in the Bible says if anyone comes preaching a different gospel than this, let him be anathema. And he was with the guys who lived with Jesus for years, and they were the ones chosen as a foundation, as it says in Revelations. So they're twisting the scriptures. The whole New Age is, and Eastern religion is, of course. Let me just read a couple of the quotes of emerging, and we're gonna be switching to a clip of Roger Oakland talking about how this emerging viewpoint is impacting Christianity. And in fact, spirits in the past have channeled and said that they will go into many churches and change those churches' viewpoint of Jesus to their viewpoint of Jesus. Were you going to say something before we jump into that clip?
Well, give me the definition of an atheist. What is...
I guess an atheist, these people wouldn't say they're atheists. They believe in God. But an atheist is someone who says that God doesn't exist.
Oh, okay, but there's these evolutionists out there proclaiming atheism.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
But yet they're talking about the spiritual realm.
We were talking about that last week. Yeah, there's two types, I guess. There's atheists who believe in evolution, but these people believe in a different type of evolution with a cosmic consciousness involved. So that's where all of Eastern religion is coming from, the Gnostics are coming from, Scientology, Hinduism, Buddhism, the Catholic Church is getting heavily into it. It's seeping through different branches of the Western Church. The whole New Age crystals, channeling to and going to seances and things like that are affecting all the cultures in the West in terms of this type of God consciousness, but they still believe in a type of evolution that everything kind of just happened. It goes back to that initial base where there's no evidence for anything like that, the cosmic, the Big Bang, the cosmic bang, or, and so, because they have to go back and answer, well, where did their gods come from? Where did their cosmic, just like, and no one has the answer to those questions. It's not science that can give you those answers. It's spiritual, and it's the evidence that you can find in the spiritual planes, and of course we lean towards the Bible because the Bible, not lean towards, we know the Bible's true because God says He's going to tell the future 100% accurately, and that is a concrete thing that no one else can do. Everyone can look to the past and make up their own scenarios of why this happened this way, but no one can tell the future 100% accurately.
Well, Mike, if I'm out there seeking truth,
except God,
I want to base it on at least some sort of evidence. So what are these New Agers, what evidence are they basing their belief on?
They're often basing on spirits that channel and tell them things that no one could have possibly known, like, Shirley MacLaine, or Baba Ram Dass. I was into him. Be Here Now is a book he wrote. It was my Bible before I got into the Bible, and he was a psychologist. Richard Alpert, he's a psychologist at Harvard University. He headed up the Department of Psychology for 15 years at Harvard. But then when a guru told him a dream that he had and explained what happened in the dream, told him about a conversation that Alpert had with his dad before his dad died that no one in the world knew, Alpert changed his name to Baba Ram Dass and became a disciple of his. Okay, so they're getting then a true experience here, but it's based on past events and not future events. Correct, and only God can tell the future 100% accurately. They can make guesses, and sometimes they're right, but they're wrong as much as they're right. I'm talking about the spiritual realm that's not on God's side. Those are those fallen angels, the demonic horde under this personality, Satan, who was an archangel in heaven before. And we have evidence in front of us, written word, written 2,000-3,000 years ago, with prophecies of future events, 100% accurate. Yeah, and we've talked about that a lot. You can see it on our website, some of the films that we have video streaming on our website. So what we agree on then in those New Agers, in that realm, there is a spiritual world out there. Yes. Okay, the Bible talks about those other spirits